Hey guys, Lukey here, coach of your Allvine City Beacons, and we're back. Our first Gen 9 Draft League battle. So for the Beacons, I'm actually taking over from a player who left the server. I think his name was Bowser or something. And I decided, well, for the first week, we'll keep the team the exact same, see how I build with it. And what I ended up doing is I came back with the team based on all the mods that I planned on keeping and wanted to see how they were going to perform. So my first opponent is ReeApple. He was the other 0-2 player heading into this week. His team, really interesting group. I think a bunch of underrated mods, and you see it in this match. He built mainly around a Firewater Grass core of Roselia, Dreadnought, and Talonflame. Roselia and Talonflame, the kind of support, and Dreadnought, the big finishing sweeper. But he brought along some really cool mons to assist Duraludon, Zebstrika, and Electros. And even though there's a double electric here, it's a really nice synergy with his team. Electros adding that ground immunity, being more on the physical side, Zebstrika more of the special based pivot. And my strategy heading into this match is gamble on what Tera type Dreadnought is going to be and try to keep the pressure high enough, especially with my Volt Turn core of Noivern and Electro to Sui, to deter it from coming in and being able to set up on me. And spoiler alert, that is the one thing that I failed at in this match. So let's get right into it. He leads with Duraludon. I go with Piloswine, and I decided to bring a little bit of heat, and I made Piloswine Choice Bandit. And here I see Duraludon. I run a quick calc. Flash Cannon Okos me. Now, he thinks I am Eviolite. I'm pretty sure with Eviolite it still KOs, or at least it cripples Piloswine. So, he risks that if he doesn't kill me, I probably kill him with an Earthquake. So I decide to switch. And the thing is, so does he. I think he actually predicted the earthquake there and going too fast. So I switch into Garbodor. I figure I will, try and get some hazards up on whatever comes in. Electros comes in, and perfect. I don't think Electros can do a damn thing. And he just goes for the U-turn to scout while I get spikes up, and Roselia comes in. Which is great. Already start racking up some hazard damage. This is good. So I bring Piloswine in. He gets a very well played stun spore, which is annoying. It's the one time that Piloswine can get paralyzed, and he's he's clearly reading Earthquake here. But I was paralyzed and I couldn't move. I'm pretty sure I hit Icicle Spear there. So I switch in. He goes to the Drain Punch. Garbodor comes in and just eats that. Gets another layer of spikes out. And he goes for the slow U-turn. But he doesn't have a whole lot to do to me. I don't know what the plan with Roselia is there. Maybe to paralyze me. But I realize I outspeed and just go for the gunk shot and knock it out. So that's great. I immediately don't have to worry about hazards. Or at least no toxic spikes. And Garbodor immediately showing why it's an absolute unit. So in comes Electros. I take this opportunity to set up and go for a curse. I'm thinking, like, how greedy can I get here? And in hindsight, I probably should have been greedier, even without my leftovers. Uh, I get to +1. I go for the Drain Punch immediately to get some health back. Pulls me right up to full. In hindsight, the game really hinged right here. I think if I had have cursed instead of the Drain Punch, well, I would have died. But I think here somehow saving my Garbodor. It's really a shame. If I could have got this thing set up, I would have won the match. Although I do get some very lucky hacks here on the overheat roll, which allows me to get a third layer of spikes. Turns out it didn't matter. So I switch out to Florges, who can take anything from Zebstrika. And at this point, I'm just trying to keep the pressure on. He goes into Talonflame, and I'm scouting to see what he's going to do. So here I decide to sack Garbodor because I figure Flare Blitz plus Aftermath is going to do a fair amount and get that into a range that I can deal with. And so Electro to Sui, which is EV to outspeed Talonflame. comes out, and this is where I find out that it's not its electric immunity Zebstrika, because the volt switch works, and I get Florges back in there. And here is where this is where I lose the match, because here I'm switching around, I'm playing a little too conservatively. Florges I brought is just a little too passive, and I'm switching around, it's not really doing a whole lot. And I really didn't use it to its full potential. So I bring Piloswine in to prevent the Volt Switch, and I'm going for Icicle Spear or Icicle Crash and getting as much damage off as possible. But I know the Drain Punch is a problem, so back comes Bloomin', and just trying to chip away. Even though he's got 2 spikes immune mon, I've got some pretty hard hitting guys, and Florges Moonblast, even uninvested, does a crap ton. As Talonflame comes back in, basically I'm just trying to stall around a bit here, and wear down the Talonflame and have the spikes do their thing to anything else that comes in. But this is a key play in the match here, the Will-O-Wisp. I'll be fully honest, terrible play on my part. In addition to bringing Avalugg in too soon, I'm strong jaw and not sturdy. And in hindsight, especially knowing that Dreadnought is coming in as a setup sweeper, that was a terrible choice on my part in terms of prep, because Avalugg, I think even with the burn, with body press and sturdy, could have ended the sweep that's coming. And you can see I got so little benefit out of Strongjaw Ice Fang. And it really just did nothing else to help me here. So Electros comes back in. I pivot around to Florges because it can take Electros on for days, even with the poison. And Talonflame comes. I just go for the Moonblast, and even a resisted Moonblast. Okay, maybe it's not on invest. I think I might have given it max special attack. So this is the big moment of the game. I don't know at this point that Florges is actually complete setup fodder. I brought Energy Ball in case I could snag Dreadnought unterra'd, but I don't. And in fact, the worst thing happens. I just play right into it. This is my inexperience with Gen 9. He tears and shell smashes, and I just go for an Energy Ball here, I think, which does 4/5 and nothing. And all of a sudden, I've got a huge problem. Dreadnought now outspeeds everything. I think it's even fair to question whether or not a Scarfed Noivern actually matters here. My Noivern is not Scarfed, but he goes for Smart Strike. I actually don't know if I had any way to get out of this once he was set up. Bit of unluckiness here. That crit, I'm pretty sure, did matter. ReeApple did bring that up. It's the game we play, and I put myself in a terrible position, and the crit happens, and Piloswine goes down. So here at this point, I'm thinking, does anything take any hit from this guy? There's definitely a world where I get a lucky miss or something, but Avalugg can't do anything because it's already burned and it didn't have sturdy, and then it's down to Noivern, and I say YOLO, let's go for the Dragon Tera, and Dreadnought, the reverse sweep. I was looking so good in the early game. Garbodor was putting in so much work, absolute MVP of the match for me. But even with 3 layers of spikes up, I didn't wear down what mattered, and that was Dreadnought. It got in, it got its 1 shell smash, and at this level, it's all it needs. My opponent's Dreadnought went from 0 KOs to 5 in 1 week, which is super embarrassing for me, but well played to ReeApple because he made the plays when he needed to. He got the Will-O-Wisp off on Avalugg, which, especially from his point of view, not knowing that I was dumb and didn't bring sturdy, that he can break my sturdy sash essentially, and then that Dreadnought really just ripped through my team, and I'm not sure what else I could have done there other than the lack of fire type here, and not properly prepping through sturdy meant that he was one click away from winning the match at any time, and that's an indictment on my prep and on this team. So good game to ReeApple, very well played to turn it around from what looked like a pretty rough position to just having Dreadnought run roughshod over my team. And hopefully this serves as a warning to other players that ReeApple's not to be messed with, and that one wrong move, you guess the Tera wrong, or Dreadnought gets that shell smash off in your face, and it's game over. So good game. Uh, I'm not done for this week. I'm going to do a video on what the team looks like heading into week 4. So I'll see you for that one. Thanks, guys.